This is a First Alert Weather Special Report.
And a good evening, meteorologist Craig Allen looking at a watery midtown Manhattan there as we look across into Manhattan and across the Brooklyn Bridge over on the right side there. Yeah, I can see it through the raindrops just a little bit. The rain is coming down. It's not all that heavy in the city at this moment, but it is going to continue from this point on, right through the night. Through tomorrow, there may be some lulls where it's very, very light, and then there'll be some periods where it's very, very heavy, and that's going to be a problem right through, as I said, through tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. A 1 to 3 inch rainfall is likely for the entire region. The highest amounts, though, will be the closer you are to the coast because you will be in closer proximity to the storm. Winds 40 to 60 miles per hour. And again, the strongest winds will be in the open areas right along and near to the coastline. That is going to cause coastal flooding and erosion. So you've got those winds pushing the tide in right on through the night tonight and into tomorrow. We may be going through about 4 high tides before we can have them start to settle down a little bit, and they'll be running at about 1 to 3 feet above average, above ground level. So in other words, that's saltwater inundation, not just plain rainfall or flooding from heavy rain. That is salt water coming up along the coastline. Tree damage and power outages, always a problem. We've been hearing about a couple thousand outages already in parts of New Jersey, and I'm sure there are individual sections across Long Island that are starting to get some power outages as well. It's not a very pretty picture across the city. You can see there's fog, there's low clouds that have developed over the area with rain, obviously, across the screen. And that is going to continue through the nighttime. Almost looks like it's sparkling and shimmering out there, but it's getting nasty. 56 degrees. The wind is north-northeast at 21 sustained. Getting gusts over 30 and close to 40 miles per hour already. So let me give you a timeline. From this point on, the rain continues. It's on and off. But there is also wind and coastal flooding through midnight as we approach the next high tide, which is around or a little after midnight. From after midnight through the morning hours, it's moderate to heavy bouts of rain. Coastal flooding will continue along with that, the next high tide towards the morning, and then again into the Sound. It'll take until late morning. And the rest of Monday, more rain and coastal flooding. And of course, those strong winds too, although by Monday night, the winds may start to back down just a little bit. So here it is. Here's the developing system. It's got like another area here, or it's elongated. And this area right here looks like it wants to form as well into another area of low pressure. No matter how you want to call it, the nomenclature for it or the movement of it, it's going to bring some stormy weather to the region during the night. And you can see here on a close-up radar, yeah, you can actually see how the circulation is down here, and you see how it's pushing to the north and edging its way to the west. You know, though, it has not gotten past 287 in New Jersey or the Thruway in New York State with nothing more than just a couple of sprinkles. That's it. All the heavy rain is falling across the island into Connecticut and along the Jersey shoreline, moving in that direction. Here are your wind gusts, latest wind gusts between 25 and 35 miles per hour, even getting close to 40 miles per hour out across the eastern portions of Long Island. Some damage reports here already and severe weather report. Well, severe in terms of the intensity of the storm. Manasquan, you've had coastal flooding at the last high tide. There will be more coming up later tonight. So the entire Jersey Shore has to be on the lookout for this. Harvey Cedars, a 51 mile per hour gust, 54 in the Seabright area. And that continues right through the night as well. Look at the Hamptons already. Almost an inch of rain having fallen, half an inch at Islip, and Bridgeport is closing in on half an inch. But you get to the west of the city and the numbers go down, down, down. And those of you that are watching us right now in Western Jersey or parts of the Hudson Valley are thinking to yourself, what a bust, where's the storm? As we go through the night, rain will be able to push inland for a little bit more, but you're not going to get as much rain as the island or the Jersey coastline, I can tell you that. Nor will you get the winds as strong as these areas here from about the Route 112 area of the island out towards the Twin Forks. Winds could gust 40 to 60. And the Jersey Shore as well. But it's a wind advisory in this area of yellow here, which means 20 to 30 with gusts to about 45. Still could cause damage. Don't get me wrong. I mean, especially with wet ground. But I would think right now that the strongest winds will be here southeast Connecticut and down through the Jersey Shore with 40 to 60 mile per hour gusts later tonight and into Monday as the pressure gradient begins to squeeze and tighten up through the night. Also means that there's coastal flooding. It's a coastal storm, so coastal flooding is a problem. The saltwater inundation that I talked about, coastal flood warning across the island down the Jersey Shore, the Sound Shore of Westchester County, but across the Connecticut coastline south of the Turnpike, it may not be as bad because the northeast winds are actually pushing the water away from the coastline. You could get flooding, don't get me wrong, but it won't be as bad as, let's say, the North Shore, South Shore of the island, and especially the Jersey Shore. You're going to get hit pretty hard with the winds parallel, just coming right on into the coastline and pushing that water in. Here are your next round of high tides. It's approximately after midnight and through at least 1 or 2, and then more into the Sound later in the morning hours. And here's the low pressure area itself. Moves on up towards New Jersey, which is very interesting, and then stalls. It just kind of wants to weaken and stall, but it's still bringing in an influx of moisture off the Atlantic with strong winds and the coastal flooding, and that continues right on through. Look at that. That's Monday at 6 o'clock. So it's still there until it drops around and moves on out to sea. So it's actually trying to, at least according to this map, it's actually trying to make a loop and then head on out to sea, and then conditions will start to calm down somewhat. But big rainfall totals, 2 to 3, especially for the coastal areas, 1/2 inch to 1 inch for the northern and for the western suburbs. So for tonight, 57 with rain and wind, strongest near the coast, heaviest near the coast. And then for tomorrow, 61 with rain and wind. Same scenario, same way it's going to play out. Here's the 7-day forecast, and it'll be in the low to mid 60s on Tuesday, a little bit better, less in the way of rain, just a couple of showers. If you're waiting for some good weather, that comes in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're going to keep you updated right through the night tonight, as we've been doing since 2 o'clock this afternoon. So the next one is at about 10 o'clock or so, 9 o'clock, I should say, and then 10 o'clock, and then Lonnie will be in a little bit later on this evening for the evening news or nighttime news. And tomorrow morning, for those of you who have to get up nice and early, we will begin at 4 a.m. for you to keep you safe and head as you head outdoors, and to keep you from the rain and the wind, and to tell you when it's finally going to end.
This has been a First Alert Weather Special Report.